Hello everybody, and welcome back to Mountalks. I'm your host, Ethan Fitzgerald, and behind the camera we have Ryan Ubanis. Today we have a very exciting episode in store for you. We are joined by some past students who I think a lot of you will know. They're musicians who have played at venues such as Cypress Avenue, Rose of Tree International Festival, and they're making their debut headliner at Mike the Pies on the 19th of April. Without further ado, let's meet our guests for today. Conor, Coren, how are we doing? Guys, thank you so much for coming on today's episode.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, man. How are we feeling? Is it kind of weird to be back in the school and seeing all teachers and students?
I love it. Missed them all.
It is strange to say the least. Very strange. Even going back in and seeing everyone was great. Talking to Miss Muldoon.
I saw you just knew them, everyone knows you. It was great to have you on. When we were thinking of this episode, we wanted to, we've covered loads, but we wanted to really zone in on the music this time. We were thinking, me and Ryan were brainstorming, who can we bring on? And you just huge members of Aftershock. We just had to be you, So we've loads to get into. There's so many things I want to ask you, and I think a lot of students want to hear from you guys as well. But to open things up, I want to talk about a little bit about Mike the Pies. So you've played there before, as a support. And how was that? What was it like playing at a place such as Mike the Pies?
Oh, it's class.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I remember
at a venue like that, everyone's going for the music, to listen to the music. There's no screaming and singing along to all the words, but it's really intimate.
And it was one of our first proper original gigs.
Really?
So a lot of our gigs before then were all our covers and just playing other people's songs. That was our first time I think proper playing.
How long ago was it? This stage?
6 months maybe.
It's probably about 6 months ago.
Yeah, November time was it
November, yeah.
Okay, and then you're making your debut headliner.
Yeah.
Now what does it mean? You're playing at a place. Mundy has played there. Christy Dynam has played there.
Kingfisher.
Kingfisher.
Fontaines,
huge names.
Oh, Fontaines,
Huge names have played there. It must mean a lot to you to be making your debut headliner there.
It means pressure.
You so have it though. You so have it. It's great.
But look, we're confident that people will get behind us.
Of course.
They'll come down, they'll support and show the support.
Oh, of course. And there's always a great vibe there.
You got to have these things in the bag to prove to higher management and the higher power of the industry that that you are worth it. So you got to do these leaps, I suppose.
100%.
We know it's a risk. We're being humble about it. It's a big risk.
But it's a big reward as well, no? Huge reward.
100%.
We're going to get into Aftershock a little bit in a second. But just for you two guys, how did you get into music? Have you always played music as a child, or only recently?
No, I started when I was very young.
Okay.
I think I first in first or second class. I picked up my guitar for the first time.
Nice.
And I've literally been playing it since. I was a bit of a bedroom player there, though, where I wouldn't really perform for much people. I'd mainly just be playing myself. Then third year now, when first battle of
we're
bands
gonna get
that's
a huge
big
topic.
thing.
That's a big thing that I want to discuss with you.
Yeah, that's when the boys are
is that when everything just came together, or for you, what was the kind of music journey for
well, obviously, I was lucky. Myself and Dara had each other, which made it so much easier.
Your brother.
So you're not when you're young, you're not really afraid then to hop up in front of the crowd if you're your brother. And we are extremely close. We're great friends. So that definitely made it easier. And then we joined together with a couple of other lads from school. And Dara was the one who first got it. Miss Karen O'Carroll.
I remember her when I was in first year. And, that was great.
We said we'd just do it, and we did a good few practices. And we put 2 songs together and just never looked back.
And it just worked, and you won it that year, and look at you now, just boom. No, but seriously, because I don't know if you're aware, there's a Battle of the Bands coming up, the 25th of April. So just anybody watching, it can happen. These guys performed a Battle of the Bands, they won Battle of the Bands. Look at them now, playing at huge places.
It's weird the way it happens. For anyone, I just say, why not?
Just go for it. Seize the opportunity and take it.
Exactly.
And the name Aftershock, where did it come from? I've always wondered.
So many contrasting stories.
Okay, can we get the truth? Where did it come from?
What's your version?
My version.
I'll spill my version if you spill your
version.
Okay.
My version.
So are we going to get 2 different versions?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, let's hear Coren's version.
My version is just we were sitting down at practice at someone's house, practicing for Battle of the Bands. We were we need a name. And then we were spitting things out, and then just finally, I can't even remember who said it. And it was just Aftershock, and we were that's not bad. And it was just kind of stuck.
There was okay.
That's kind of what I got. We were all just throwing stuff out.
And this is why I think that
there's going to be like a contrast.
No.
That is not what happened.
It's the other it's Dara who doesn't think it happened like this. But I'm very similar. I remember we were all saying. I remember we were on like the topic of like geography.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the geography teachers.
Okay.
And,
talking about geography, nice.
Because we were on like thunder and stuff.
Yeah, thunder.
And then we were like doing that.
Too heavy
and we were like, that's too like rock and roll. Distorted guitars. We were like, that's not what we're playing.
I remember I said shockwave.
Yes.
I still think.
Did you have that for a little bit? Or
no, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think if we had to change the name, it would be to Shockwave.
Shockwave.
Because we really like that. Yeah. And then Dara, after that, Dara was the one who was like Aftershock. We were like,
that sounds about right.
That's
it was just us sitting down, 5 of us sitting down then.
But Dara then thinks that he thought of it alone, I think.
Oh, so Dara was credit for Aftershock.
No, he did think of it alone. It was him who came up with the name. But he thinks that he thought of it at home.
Okay.
And then just came out, but it was definitely, unless he was like thinking of it and then said it when we were there.
Yeah, maybe.
But like, we definitely were all like spitting ideas out, and then he said
it just kind of came togetger.
Yeah. We were like, that's not bad. So.
Class, because I remember, I think I was at first or second year, and you were 2 years. You're 1 year older than me, and I remember when you kind of formed the Aftershock, there was a big like, whoa, like a band coming out of our Battle of the Bands, and it was a huge thing. We want to talk about your new songs. We'll get to those in a little bit, but before we do, can we talk a little about, you were performing in Switzerland, am I right in saying that?
France, yeah, French Alps.
Only half an hour away from Switzerland.
I've been seeing the stories, they looked unreal. Just tell us a little bit about that. They looked mad, like awesome. Where do we start?
It's a huge podcast.
Goran's got this.
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
It was a great experience. We just we were offered a few gigs playing in this bar, the Tibetan bar, I think it's called, in France, Morzy, in French Alps.
Cool.
Part of the deal was the ski passes too. So we went there, we'd ski during the day and play music at night, and it was just
living the dream.
Literally,
it was amazing.
Yeah, honestly, met so many nice people over there. Like
class. These opportunities, I'll say they open your mind.
They come out of nowhere too, because it was like the gas thing was like we wanted to go skiing. Like we were like, I priced it. We were going through. I was like, look, lads, we do not have the money for it. So we're like, next year we'll save, go skiing. I think like a week later we got a text saying, lads, do you want to play music in the French Alps and go skiing? We were like, yeah, like.
And then like when you're getting the skiing holiday, when you're getting the whole holiday paid for just to play music, which you didn't like. You
would do anyway.
We'd pay to go skiing, and we'd also pay to play music over there. But then when they're paying us to do it, it was
unreal. Killing two birds with one stone.
Exactly,
that's exactly it.
And the crowds, did you find the crowds were different over in France?
We got a shock.
We were like, the first night, because like, we played a gig in Cork, like literally the night before. Like, I think we played a gig like 12 to 2 a.m. or what, 11 to 1 a.m. in Cork, and then caught the flight to France. And that gig in Cork, like, it was covers again where you're playing all the likes like Grace, Feels About the Right.
Yeah, pure, really Irish tunes,
like, you know, and like,
just 3 of us.
Yeah, and the crowd just love it, sort of thing, like. And then when we went over then to France, we played the same sort of stuff first night.
Oh, okay.
It does not go down.
Didn't vibe. Okay,
you know.
Interesting.
So then we were
built up a few different set lists over the years.
Yeah,
we kind of tend to
we
just like if we play a gig like on a Saturday night, if we've won on a Sunday night, we'll say down in Cork, kind of keep the same set list because we just if it worked for that night. So we just thought nothing of it, and we had the set list.
This is gonna be fine.
We just like we played that set like literally the night before,
and they just weren't
couldn't have gone down better. Like, and then but it was like I think there wasn't as much Irish over there.
Of course. Well, they would have been real like French.
No,
it
was actually mainly English.
Okay.
Welsh and English.
A few Americans.
So you feel you kind of have to alter your set list.
Sometimes. So then it went.
So what did you do the second night? Did you just more pop kind of
songs? We came back that night and we started learning. We learned. Because the problem is like we were pushing our set list to the limit anyway. It was 3 hours.
A gig.
And you know, when you're getting paid for something, you want to do the full 3 hours.
Of course, man.
And I remember we came home that night, and there was just good tunes at the moment. I remember we learned Murder on the Dance Floor that night.
That is a tune.
It is.
That's a tune.
And it went down well. And it wasn't even learning songs. It was set list is everything. Set list and crowd is
reading the crowd. Like you don't want to play the wrong song to the crowd. Like
you gotta make
because you'll get to know. You'll be like no.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you had a favorite gig that you've played at?
Cyprus.
Yeah,
Cyprus
like,
in Cork. Yeah.
I don't think you can beat playing your own songs. Like,
no,
it's the feeling that comes with it, which is just like indescribable.
Like the way you brought up your own songs. Can we talk about them? So we have Heartbreak and we have Shannon.
Yeah.
What is so? We'll start with Heartbreak first. What was the inspiration? How was it written? Where was it written? Conor, do you want to take this one and talk to us a little bit about Heartbreak?
Unfortunately, the boy who wrote the whole Heartbreak, Dara, isn't here.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a great story about Shannon.
Okay.
Shannon's a great story.
Let's talk about Shannon.
I know Dara anyway. I remember saying to him, "What was it about?" And
Which one?
everyone at the Heartbreak, everyone knows the feeling of like anyone who writes songs knows that if you could go through a week of writing loads and then you could go like 3 weeks without anything.
Oh,
and then you get like frustrated, and that was one of the incidents. So I don't think he had his heart broken or anything.
Okay.
I think the song just came out of him.
Okay.
Just out of like frustration that he hadn't done it in 3 weeks.
Yeah. That's fair.
And then
That's
with
fair.
Shannon's
a great story. Like,
Yeah.
we were up in Roscommon.
Yeah, I saw that. You was like, is that? Do you go to just the house to write songs kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like the middle of nowhere.
Nice.
Literally, like.
Oh, but it's isolated. You're not. You've
down
no
a dead end.
distractions.
Yeah, we were looking like you go down a cul-de-sac to the cottage, and we were like looking on Google Maps, 500 meters to the closest road, let alone like any actual thing. Like,
but that's to probably be so good.
It's great for
What were you doing there when you started Shannon then?
We got up in the morning to get me and Dara, and we went down to like the closest like town was, I'd say, about 20-minute drive away.
Yeah.
So we went to Coren and Shannon.
Okay.
And then we drove to Coren and Shannon. I think we spent half an hour driving around. I had the guitar out the window.
Okay.
And we'd pull over and we'd like sing songs to just random people, just having fun. Like,
that is the way to do it. No.
So what else would you be doing?
That is the way to do it. Yeah.
So then we were driving back, and just on our way back, I was like, Dara, man, we got to write a song. 'Cause like the whole trip was like writing a song. So we were like, do you want to be gas? Oh, can I explain this actually?
Dude,
So
it's funny.
The story with Shannon
you might as well.
We were like, we want to write the song Shannon. So like, because you hear Shannon, you think it's about a lady. But the idea is Shannon is actually Coren and Shannon, or it could be Shannon, the like town. So it's like there's a lot more to Shannon than just a woman. Like, do you know? So we said we write it Shannon.
Very nice.
And I just remember there we were just throwing out chords, came up with something good, and we'd like I remember pulling into the cottage, and we were like, lads, we have like the most incredible thing ever.
What?
And then the lads were elsewhere gathering a load of firewood.
Like, as you do, like, we were middle
so like, we were both on our own, just little side quest, and we
yeah.
joined over, like, lads, just sit down and listen. They were like, actually, that's good. And then we went back down, added a few riffs, added a guitar solo, did that stuff, and then we just had a song.
Come out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
that was a very spontaneous song.
The chorus was funny as well then, because we were all arguing over which lyrics to go for.
Oh man, snap!
So like there was a few different like versions.
Yeah. We
and
said
we all
like,
said
so you're not, there's just not one lyric writer. Do you all kind of add sometimes, or
that was actually the first ever song we wrote together.
Yeah.
Okay, as a collectively.
And we were like struggling for a chorus, so we had the like the music for it, so we like said put a 5-minute timer on. All went into different rooms.
Why is Conor smiling so much?
It's just such a fried story.
Yeah, we all went into different rooms. We had 5 minutes then to like to write the lyrics
in Roscommon. All 5 rooms,
and then we came back and then we played it for each other, and then we picked our favorite ones.
Okay,
so, and I think
that's great though. That's great.
Yeah, I think like the first part of the chorus was one Conor wrote, and I think the second part was Seamus.
You mixed and matched.
Yeah, exactly.
So Seamus is the drummer. Never wrote a lyric in his life. Now has the second half of the chorus written to Shannon.
That's crazy.
And it's just so funny because everyone, like, when it was released, everyone was like, lads, spill the goss. Who is Shannon?
Yeah.
And we just laugh about it all the time.
Yeah, because it's like, because when you hear Shannon, you're going to assume it's like a woman or something, but you know.
But that's why I want to do this podcast, to really dissect, like, because there's so much going on. Where at surface value, it's like, oh no. But then talking about it, there's so much more going on.
There's like great stories and memories.
Exactly, these
like,
stories that are unreal.
Sure. Like between France, like that's only a fraction of all the things. Like you just know, like if music ever doesn't work out, the crack we have.
Yeah, exactly.
Always. And these are memories for life. These aren't just a short-term thing.
Oh, it's amazing.
And a long-term thing. One memory I have, obviously, can we talk about the Rose of Tree a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, I go to that every year. You perform there for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And what's that like? Because there's a huge audience. It's always hype. It's always great.
It's incredible, like, isn't it?
Is that a top gig? Do you enjoy that one?
That is top of the range.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing like, even when we're sending our repertoire to events and everything, we have an EPK, which is an electronic press kit.
Okay.
And at the top of that is the photos from the Rose of Tree.
Yeah.
Because like you can see the massive crowd.
Yeah.
So like
because the square is a perfect place.
Yeah.
The stage.
It's great.
and it just gets the vibe going.
Yeah. We always said that we were so happy that they gave us the square stage.
Yeah. Was it hard to get it? I've always wondered. Like, was it difficult to obtain? Or
what was it? That was the year me and Dara, the first ever year, we went into there was a Rosa Tree office.
And you go in like every single day or something, did you?
And low key,
maybe.
And we said to them first, and they hadn't heard of us, and we were like, "Look, we'll give you the socials," because there's a fine line between being annoying to a manager
100%,
and being a good pushy, and you have to know the line.
The balance.
Like
and they were obviously looking for a band because they didn't shut it down. You can tell within the first time you go in there if it's worth coming back again.
Yeah.
And we did, and so we just kind of went in, and at that time we had no EPK, so there was no press kit to show what we've done so far. We hadn't done an awful lot so far. And I remember I can't remember leading up to the Rosa Tree. The first year. I remember the second year.
Oh, the second year we practiced like crazy.
Yeah.
First year.
The first year, I'm pretty.
Wow. We practiced a lot, like.
No one ever sees the amount of practice. Because
the thing behind the scenes, I know, is huge.
It's the problem if you're with a full band. It's getting everything together.
How do we get everyone together? Because everyone has their own lives going on. It's tough to schedule to be the same.
Like your schedule is one thing, and then it's like the start and the end of a song. If you're playing solo, you can finish whenever the hell you want.
Exactly.
And when you're playing,
there's so much more components and factors that you have to be like, okay, whoa, what's he playing? What's happening there? What's the time? What's the rhythm?
And that's the really, really important thing of like charisma, like being in sync, like
it takes a while.
Knowing like when it's time, because there is a lot of things we're unsure on, like Murder in the Dance Floor, the night there. After France, we played that at 3 a.m. When we got back to the apartment after the gig, you know. You have to kind of have your wits about you.
100%. And just getting back to the way you were talking about working as a band, like, what have you found to be the most challenging, like, working together with what? There's just so much going on, with so many different people. What's the biggest challenge you think working together as a band, or if there is any, or do you think it's?
See, we get along very well,
pretty
so there's
smooth
never
sailing.
It's fights or anything like that. We're usually just happy out.
Just good crack, good vibes.
You can't really go. Once you know that you need to put a shove on something,
you know, like, and we do it, and we don't complain about it. Like
a city, it means everything really, because there's so much.
It takes
more.
it to a whole other level.
Like there's facilities there. Like there's a practice room. Like practice has become so much easier because on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could do from 7 to 10, 8 to 10.
Yeah, and you just have to rock up with a guitar. So the drummer only needs to bring his sticks because there's drums set up there. Like.
So there's everything inside the practice rooms of the colleges.
It helps so much. Like.
Have you seen the Murder on Dance for Royal Otis version?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the reason he wanted to do.
Okay, yeah.
That cover.
Because Ryan, the cameraman, he showed me the Murder on Dance for the normal one, and then he showed me the Royal Otis, and like, whoa, there's a real contrast there. But is that kind of what the room you're describing? Something like that? The drum gets set up?
Yeah, something like that. The room's a bit like that. Like,
that's actually really what
the
it's
video,
like.
it is. And you have like the amps, everything, pianos, like set up everywhere. Like.
So like he'd just have to bring his guitar and his guitar lead. I'd have to bring a mic and a mic lead and my sax, and then Shane would just bring his sticks. And Dara, same with Dara.
Yeah.
Oh, so everything's like good to go.
So it just makes it easier.
And there's no like packing cars taking apart, and also like the room itself is like way like more sound treated. Like when we'd be like, we used to practice in Shamo, the drummer's room, and your ears afterwards would be ringing.
Really?
You wouldn't even be able to hear what anybody else is playing because just the sound would just be everywhere. Not in those rooms now, like you can actually.
I did not know they were even a thing.
Yeah, they're so good. Like you can proper hear what you're playing. You know, it's class, like.
And is it called writer's block? Is that when like you kind of find it tough to write songs? Is
that's right.
Does that ever happen? Does that ever occur? What are we gonna do?
It's frustrating. Like you could go to bed some nights. A lot of my I only really write on weekends really.
Okay.
When I'm home, and you could go to bed on a Saturday night at maybe 3 or 4 in the morning.
Okay.
Delighted.
Yeah.
Or you could go frustrated.
Yeah, like what?
And it's so frustrating.
Of course, but it's probably part of the process. You have to have those frustrating moments to appreciate the kind
that's
of.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think happened. I'll ask him there when I go home. But I think that's what happened there.
Yeah.
He just 2 or 3 weeks of nothing good.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
You have to write. I'd say for every 10 songs, you can only have maybe 3 good ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
of course. Yeah. It's a bit like photography. I'd be into photography. You take 500 shots, 20 are good.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. I can so relate to that. Now we're going to move on to the kind of what you're doing outside of music and outside of after secondary school. But last Aftershock question we have is, what's the future? What's in store in the future for Aftershock? Was there any new releases coming out soon? Do we get any teasers, or do these all come to see in the?
We have recorded 3.
Three songs ready.
3 songs ready
but
to go.
For everyone watching, once we get the streams of Shannon up.
Okay, streams of Shannon up. You hear that?
We're allowed.
We need to get those streams up.
We're then allowed to release it. But Shannon, she hasn't been doing too great now in the streaming.
No, she hasn't.
So the Heartbreak is nearly at 9,000 streams, I think.
Wow.
And Shannon's at nearly at 2,000 or 1,500.
That's still very impressive. Yeah.
So we want to wait until you can't rush songs out. You want to have them ready.
It's the quality over quantity, I would say.
Exactly.
You want really, really crisp, good songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay,
we still are trying to find the sound, we still are. We just keep releasing.
You have to get the ball rolling somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Of
we
course.
won't go next or near an EP or an album for another.
Oh, definitely not.
Until we're definite with the sound that we're going for.
Yeah.
We're still figuring it out.
Yeah. Cool. And just to come outside the music now a little bit. So you graduated last year from here in Mountalk.
Yeah.
What's college life like? How's...
it's class.
It's good vibes.
Whoa. I really do. I love it.
You do? Yeah. So what are you studying? Coren, what do you do?
I do maths and physics in UCC.
Nice. You're enjoying that?
I love it.
Yeah, just it suited you.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier in the course.
That is so good. It's so important to be in something that you enjoy.
It's just and everybody there, it's just I get along with so well, having all my friends too from home, living 5 minutes walk from each other too is just class,
Because you were saying even off camera that you'd meet someone from Tralee.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's crazy how many
Tralee
people are in Cork.
Going.
You can't walk through campus without meeting at least one person from Tralee.
It must be nice though, especially first year, to see that friendly face.
That's needed, I think. If you went off to abroad or somewhere where there's no one, I feel you could get lonely fast.
100%. So that's nice. And what about you, Conor? What are we doing?
I'm studying music and Irish.
Nice, man. Are you thinking about going into teaching afterwards?
Yeah. Nice. I just didn't know what to do. I said I'd do it. It's only a 3-year course through arts.
And you do a master's then for
you can education? So you're doing an extra year than the typical 4-year course.
Oh, okay.
But for that 3 years to figure out what I was properly doing.
Okay.
It's what I'm...
okay.
I'm thinking teaching is...
I think that's class,
You're a good teacher, Mr.
Yeah,
Reed.
I could so see that,
Get in there,
that'd be class. Because I think it's good. You're not really going too specialised if you're not sure what you want to do. There's no point in going...
I don't have to go into it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only thing I know. It's the only proper job that I do every week.
So you could see yourself in front of a class teaching.
So if you're teaching the accordion isn't at all too different to teaching a subject. It's still about engagement, and I enjoy teaching the accordion.
Class.
So I'm sure I'd enjoy.
You'd be good at it.
It'd be so good. And you're Irish, would you have strong Irish?
I wouldn't be fluent by any means, but my mum's from Dingle, so I had the upper leg. She used to give me it's 10 minutes drive into my house into school. And nice. 3 weeks before the orals, she used to give me...
Don't even talk about those.
a 10-minute oral, Irish oral, so I had the upper hand in her. She was great.
No.
Shout out to Mother watching it.
Okay. Cool. But any tips for people about to graduate to ease into the college life? Or
don't ease in.
Just jump in, don't ease in.
Don't stress about it though. I think everything works out. I think every single person, I know so many people who are stressing and tears coming up before college and all that, and now they're just living their best lives. And they might have changed their course twice already, but they're still just happy. So
no, 100%.
There's no
takes time to find it.
Yeah, exactly. Does, and you mightn't be happy in your first option, but that's part of life.
I think things will work out. Doors will open.
It goes to everything. It's the same with the band. Sure, we weren't happy as a band playing covers to loads of people just drinking all the time, and the constant same covers that you could be playing when you're 40 or 50.
Yeah.
And then we changed scene, went up to Cork, found our vibe, and started writing loads. It's good, everything is like that. It takes a while.
100%. I think that's good, and you're pushing, your bar is getting higher and higher, so you want to keep on improving. You don't want to just stay there, kind of thing.
You got to push yourself.
Do you guys have any fond memories? What would be a highlight of the 6 years you've spent in here?
Everything.
There's so many things.
I loved school.
Honestly, some of the best memories.
Just loved coming in every day, seeing everybody.
It was the only thing. The only thing that never bothered us really is none of us really didn't like school at all.
Yeah, which was great.
That's one thing we all just loved coming in here.
It was a good vibe, good always to come in and
5th and 6th year specialists.
Centennial sessions are class, to be fair.
I don't know how
two more left.
How did we? It was Jumbo Breakfast Roll that started the whole dress up and costumes.
Oh really?
No, because did you not do? You did the Gambler first, didn't you?
Oh, the Gambler. Sorry,
you did the Gambler first with cowboy hats.
I remember we started lightly. We were like, if we do the Gambler, and have cowboy hats and carry.
They were mad, bro. They were mad.
He wanted like a little straw piece of grass or straw to come out of his mouth. That was started the whole dress up thing, and then they just became more mad, and then we dressed up as builders.
Yeah, I remember that one. Now that one, you were all like, you had the high vis vest on,
the helmets and all.
I remember we were having a fight.
Crazy.
We were arguing over should we wear a t-shirt underneath.
And you went full high vis.
And Gary and you were like, no lads, no t-shirt.
Muscle,
you gotta commit, like.
And I was
and you committed.
Lads, they like kill us. So we just walked in around the corridors into our music class. With,
that was mad.
With no t-shirts on. She was gone mad. She sent
rightfully
us,
so though.
she sent us back out, and she said we're not allowed back in here.
No.
So we said nothing anyway, and then we just went off and we did it.
Oh, it was class. It was class.
Was great crack,
and another one, I think it was the last one where didn't you both two of you hide in the cabinet, and then I like presented, and then y'all just come out of nowhere. It's like whoa, you were suited up. The ending one. And there's some great Centennial Session memories. You've really brought the vibe. That's the absence is missed there.
We never really stressed over school.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing really. There's nothing
like
really
but even like that one there with the suits, I think like we planned that, it was like 2 days beforehand. Like it was just like we just said we'd go on and do it. I remember went to the prefabs just beforehand practicing.
Oh,
it,
we
like,
did, yeah.
Sure. Was it Uptown Girl?
Yeah. And it was literally because Molly, Miss Giltonan, beforehand was saying she loves that song. And then she thought, and we were like, oh, we don't know, we won't do it. And then she was fully convinced we wouldn't do it.
But we didn't know it. And
we didn't. And then I was literally, we went to
prefab. So you learned in 2 days and just...
I remember being over in the prefab. We were over in the prefab.
Yeah,
I
remember. Casual.
Something like that. But like, it just, I think all the time recently, everything in life, it's only a big deal in the moment. So like,
100%.
Leaving cert is only a big deal when you're in leaving cert. And they say it all the time that you're leaving cert, you'll never think of it the day after the exam.
And is that true? Is that true? Have you thought about that ever? Like,
I'll give every teacher that. Like they all say it's the biggest exam, but you just never ever think.
I think it's
once you're over, it's like boom.
Once you're in college, I don't think we've like in my course anyway. I don't think we've ever mentioned it like.
Never.
Wow. Okay. So after like in a few weeks' time, when everyone's sitting there, of course, are their exams. Just that's the last of it.
Just living your own life now, like having fun.
Yeah. That's good. No, like we've talked about it a lot. I'd love to be here all day and talking, but of course it has to come to a time limit.
You have a time when you have viewers.
There is one thing I always ask my guests at the end of each episode. So my question for you is, what advice would you give young musicians who are wanting to become and progress in maybe a musical career or a musical band together? What kind of advice would you give them to help them start their journey? I know is that a lot?
That's a tough question.
You can go first.
I say just say yes to everything and just try to get as many like opportunities as you can. Like I think a lot of our musicianship has come from now just playing gigs. Like we used to do like a weekly gig everywhere, just playing, and it helps so much with your music. So you get tighter as musicians together.
For sure.
You'd be like I remember I was doing a gig with Girl Meehan. He went here too, and Conor, and like he'd just whip out songs that like I was playing bass for this. I'd never have heard them. But then you learn quickly in the spot like how to adapt to that stuff. And the only way you get to those situations of being able to do it is putting yourself in those situations.
Be uncomfortable, but it will pay off.
Yeah, exactly. Like
okay. That's No, I like that a lot. I like
play
that.
everything sort of thing.
That's good. That's good. Conor, what about you? Any advice? I was
thinking nice. Just first of all, be nice to like all managers and venues. I mean,
respectful. Don't step on toes.
They have like so much going on, and it's only something we figured out recently. Like when someone is not ignoring you, but if they leave your text unread for a week. At start we just be like, why don't they want us? And it's like it's not, but they've like a million and one things.
It's not personal at all.
So be nice and practice hard. Don't go into something unprepared. Practice hard.
Exactly. Like make sure if you're gonna do it the best of your ability. There's no like doing it halfways. Like if you're doing it, you do it like
but practice hard.
And be prepared, but take risks. I like that.
You should make up if you're taking a big risk. You should make up for it by practicing hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like.
Okay, well, like lads, unfortunately, that's I think all the time we have today. This is the longest episode we've done. You don't get a sense of time.
To all the viewers, thank you for staying.
We hope this wasn't too long, but we hope you enjoyed, and thank you once again, Conor and Coren, for hopping on. We could talk here all day about this, but we're really enjoying this.
Yeah, thank you too.
Thank you guys for the viewers, and we will see you in the next episode.